But anyways, the fake job is the traffic and parking enforcement uh, system and associate bylaws. And the reason it's a fake job uh, is because we've had the ability to use GPS to monitor speeds for a long time. And the fact that we need to set up these speed traps uh, with questionable controls. I got a speeding ticket last year, and there was a moving truck parked in front of the speed limit sign because they're allowed to do that in that part of the city. It's a very like denser area, and the moving truck was parked in front of the speed limit, and then there was a cop car with the radar gun, uh, basically, and it was an unusual. It was a school zone where normally you can go a certain speed, and I wasn't familiar with this neighborhood, and I was just driving through it, and then out of nowhere I see a school because you can't see the school when there's blocks all around you, and then there's a car waiting, and the truck is blocking the speed limit sign, and it's a $300 fine. And I thought to myself, this guy has a fake job. This guy didn't. This guy created a dangerous situation just to catch me going. Like I wasn't even going that fast. Like I was actually under normal speed limits. I would have been, the regular uh, speed limit of the city would have been fine. But uh, because I should have been going a little bit slower in this neighborhood, $300 fine, and it was a trap. And then the process of involved in it. I did want to argue about the moving truck, and I always wonder if that cop knew about that moving truck. Did he see it was there, or was he involved in it? Right. But again, these are all fake jobs. These are people who don't really contribute to society, who do this, right? Um, you see, alternatively, the reason and one of the rules for it to be counted as a fake job is there has to be a technology that can automatically do this stuff. Like GPS could have monitored my speed limit going through that neighborhood, and it could have micro fined me automatically, like $10 fine each time, right? So it would get you every time when you speed. So that's if you're worried about speeding, that's a better way to do it. If you're worried about the safety of people on the roads, uh, use GPS to do the microfining. Then anyone for just a moment makes a mistake, they get caught. But it's a smaller penalty, but it'll add up. So if you speed regularly, you speed 30 times at a $10 fine, it's the same as a $300 fine. The reason I do the big fines is because the belief that they don't always catch you, right? It's just a statistical numbering thing, and the whole uh, principle of it should have been like obsolete in 2010. Like we've had the ability to do this for well over a decade to use GPS to build it into vehicles and automatically find people that way, if it's even that needed. Same with parking enforcement. Like you could just park somewhere and have like a certain amount of hours you're allowed to use public parking, street parking per month. So let's say every citizen gets, I don't know, uh, 24 total hours of free parking. Park anywhere you want, as long as it's not more than 24 hours. And then the GPS, if you're there on a parking spot that long, um, then you start paying the fees, just automatic from an account, right? Tied into your car insurance. Could all just be one unified account. This could be definitely a project for DOGE as well. A little bit more sophisticated, this one, because you got to work with the auto manufacturers. But uh, that's just part of it, though. Just like the fact that these cops are doing this. After that, I wanted to argue, like I say, the obstruction of the sign, and I had to go through three different layers of uh, legal processes before I could finally dispute it. And in the end, I one of the steps they gave it 50% off, but it's still a scam at 150. In my opinion, I did nothing wrong. Okay, that if someone's going to have a parked truck in front of the speed limit, um, then how am I supposed to know what the speed limit is in a neighborhood I'm not familiar with? Uh, it's just ridiculous. But the fact that they had all these, like, multiple lawyers, multiple legal aids, multiple judges, all involved in this process, like, these are people who are probably collecting big salaries, contributing nothing to society. At least for traffic and speed and parking enforcement kind of rules. Uh, to me, computers have made your job obsolete over a decade ago. We've known how to do this, and I think the idea has been shared. No, I know if I've shared this idea of auto finding people in the early 2000s, so I'm sure other people have thought of this idea. But of course, it never happens because these are they went and did their time in school, and now they're work like that justifies giving them inflated salaries for the rest of their careers. Well, I got news for you. I probably am more educated than you, and I've gotten paid nothing the last 10 years. Okay, that's reality. That's if I have to deal with the harsh realities of how capital investment picks and chooses winners, you have to deal with the harsh reality that your job's not needed. That's um, you can't have a double standard. You can't just pick and choose who gets paid for being useless and who doesn't, right? And if your job, like, again, these are high paying jobs, so and I'm not saying 100% of traffic and parking and the enforcement and the legal side of it is baloney, but I'll say probably at least 75% of those jobs can be cut and not worth funding. So uh, that's just another area for a lot of cities to save money. But again, the people that typically are involved in this are well connected, and uh, it's almost like a favor to them that they have some of these cushy jobs. So I don't know. Again, that's corruption. We have institutional corruption. It's like it's automatic corruption in a lot of places. So if you want to save some money and not go off the fiscal cliff, I would suggest um, significantly reducing the amount of investment, uh, the investment in traffic by law enforcement. That's it's it's just not needed. I think, and we even know like look at the Autobahn in Germany. Even they have less fatalities on that highway. And these numbers have been out for a long time, and they don't have a speed limit. People, there is another kind of policing that's happening here. We don't need these cash grabbers in between. Um, People don't want to die, okay, and they don't want to hurt other people on the road. That's not. It's not like we're all mindless idiots. No, most people are sentient of self-preservation and the preservation of others. Okay, um, that's kind of the first rule of enforcement: the self-accountability. The so if you look at Germany and the Autobahn, um, I think the reason why there's less fatalities when there's no speed limit is because you're getting from point A to point B faster, and you got to be rational. You got to think about that. If the vehicles are on the road less, if there is less chance of an accident, and if a person uses their own common sense and realizes, okay, this stretch of highway here, there's no one on it, that I can see perfectly, like daylight, sunny day, not many cars on the road. The faster you get off that road, the safer it is for everyone else. And if you can't see that, if that triggers you, comment below. You will not get me like um, you've lived a different perspective, life of me that, and I have seen all kinds of bad things too. Don't say don't say I've seen the consequences of maniac drivers. I have too, and uh, the by law enforcement has no effect on that. It's just a cash grab. That these the crazy drivers are going to exist whether you enforce it or not. Self preservation is the first rule of the market there. So that's that's going to go into the fake jobs bin, the uh, traffic enforcement, and it's just all the associated businesses with it. The whole fake industry costing taxpayers a lot of money again because uh, these people, they collect a high salary and then they consume goods, so they're basically consuming goods and not producing goods, right? So that's why this has to be categorized as a fake job.